Welcome to the asanas for the Muladhara, the root chakra. Today we're going to do a very exciting episode here about the Muladhara root chakra, and we will use 3 special asanas that have been selected to allow us to feel our chakra, our root chakra, on a physical level, but also through that on a mental and soul level. So these 3 special poses, asanas, that we have selected are Tadasana. This is the standing mountain pose. And as second, we have chosen the Virabhadrasana I and II. So that's the warrior 1 and the warrior 2. And as the final pose for the root chakra, we have chosen Sukhasana, which is the easy cross-legged sitting position. And all these poses are quite open for all levels. We will also experience the different variations that are present that you can choose to make it a little bit more challenging or a little bit easier for you. And it will be really great if you can pick up also your props. These don't have to be the exact props, but it can be something that represents or is similar to these props. I'll take a moment to just show that to you. So here we have a cushion, and you can really use a pillow or any other sofa cushion for this purpose. We'll be using to sit on. You can already sit on this if it's more comfortable for you to be on a support rather than directly on the ground. And the other lovely prop that we have is a block. So of course, if you don't own one of these, you can definitely use a book or something that represents that kind of rectangle shape, or square would actually also do. So maybe you can take a moment and pause the video and come back when you feel like you are ready with your mat, with your props, and then we'll get right into the poses. So when you are ready, come up into your standing position. And as we said, we will start with Tadasana, the mountain pose. And in order to start Tadasana, we just want to first place our legs in the right position. And you have 2 choices. You can either bring the balls of your heels together. That means actually your legs are pressed towards each other. And if this does not feel comfortable, the other option is just to have your feet a few centimeters apart. So see what feels more natural and comfortable to you, and then choose your feet position. And after that, we're going to start to move our body in 2 different ways. So first, we just want to allow our weight to shift from one side to the other, left and right. You can close your eyes and just begin to shift your weight here. And take also a nice deep breath while you're feeling how your weight is shifting, how your feet muscles are helping you balance all of that out, keeping you stable on the ground. And then also try to shift your weight from front to back. And you can allow your toes to just rise up a little bit, or you can allow also this space underneath your toes to come up a bit, but take care that you're only raising as much as is possible for you. And we're also going to take a breath here together as we're shifting our weight, shifting our weight from front to back. So just take a moment to do that as well. Close your eyes and a deep breath. All right, and then we're going to take another breath intuitively. So now you know your 4 directions. And you can just take one breath in which you move yourself as you feel is right, and also in the tempo that you feel is correct. So just close your eyes or concentrate on one point. Take one breath and shift your weight here intuitively. Make it a little bit faster. And then when you're feeling ready, allow these movements to get slower and try to find your way back to the center. And really take focus of your feet right now. Allow your weight to shift evenly throughout your feet, and then when you're feeling ready, just find your stillness back again. Take a deep breath in and out. And although we've stopped our movement, we can still feel that vibration inside of us. So once we have our stillness back again, what we want to do is lift our feet one more time, all the toes up towards our body. And then we'll spread out our toes in all directions. Really feel that space that you have in between your toes, and then allow your toes to fall back and root into the ground from the outside to the inside. So we're going to start with our tiny fingers and then go one step at a time, placing them back on the ground. And when you place them on the ground, try to feel this effect of rooting into it and crawling your feet into the ground to grasp it. So we feel this pressure at the toes and also at the heels. At first you can exaggerate it, and then we'll let go definitely a little bit to come back into a natural standing position. And once you have that, what we can do is just slightly bend our knees forward. First, again, exaggerating it, but then coming back into a standing stretched position, but keeping that slight mini micro bend in our knees as to activate our legs in Tadasana. And then we're going to keep moving upwards, activating our body. The next thing we want to do is really tighten our buttocks muscles, our glutes together. And as you do this, you'll already feel how your hips are moving slightly forward. Allow that to happen. And once you've got your legs in position, we want to rise up with our chest and our belly, and we'll just pull our navel in and up. We'll open up our chest. In order to really feel this, let's inhale and lift up our shoulders all the way up to the ears. And as you exhale, open up your chest. First, you're going to feel how the shoulder blades are compressing towards each other, but then flatten them out. But keep your chest open. And we're going to feel as if a thread is pulling up our crown from the center here and allowing your neck to straighten. And in that position, you're going to just allow your shoulders to melt. Your neck is long. You can pull your chin slightly inwards. And then lock your positions there. See that your bottom of your chin is parallel to the ground. And you also have a nice alignment in your hips, your shoulders, your ankles should be all in a straight line. And we've already activated the feet, if you can remember. This is your Pada Bandha. We can do something similar with our hands. We can open up our fingers strongly, stretching them out in all directions. This is Hasta Bandha. And allowing the shoulders to stay relaxed. We're going to just concentrate on one point or close our eyes in this beautiful activated mountain pose. The first pose that we are using in order to connect with Muladhara, our root chakra. So really take in this connection you're feeling with your feet on the ground. Allow your weight to be distributed evenly. And you can imagine how tiny roots are just growing out of your toes and your heels, connecting you deeply with the core of this earth. And although we are just standing, you can really feel the true activation of this pose. Taking 4 or 5 deep breaths in this pose. Try to keep this positive tension throughout your body that is helping you to stay activated in Tadasana. Take a couple of more breaths in this position before we let go again. And then when you're ready, Let's go in that same way we started. Let us loosen up our feet muscles. You can really relax your legs again, your buttocks, your glutes. Allow your shoulders to have a slight wiggle. Allow your belly and chest area to relax, your neck as well. And just take a deep breath in. You did a great job. And we've already done our first pose for the root chakra. Before we move into the next one, I quickly want to take a moment to give you a few cool facts about this pose. So Tadasana, as you see, is so activated that it actually starts to help us with a spine elongation. So you can really bring your spine back in a nice straight position. And at the same time, the leg joints are also benefited from this pose. For example, your knees or your ankles or your hip joints. And on the spiritual level, as we said already, that it helps us to connect with our root chakra, allowing us to feel this groundedness and connection to our purpose, to our families, to our jobs, to our daily lives. So enjoy that first effect, and we'll move on to our next pose. And this will be Virabhadrasana I and II. So we are going to actually start our Warrior I position from our Tadasana. It's a great foundation. And we will start with our left leg back for starters. So when you are ready, from Tadasana, step back 3 to 4 feet behind with your left leg. And at first, what we want to do is open up the left leg completely outside. And here's an alignment that I want to show you that will really help you with your warrior positions. Bring your right heel, your forward leg, in the center of your back leg. So your right heel actually goes a little more inwards, that's left, to be in alignment with the center of your back leg. Then your hips can really fall nicely into the position. So we have a stretched back leg, and we have a few possibilities here with our front leg. You can just stay in this nice light bend. This is really, really important in case you have knee issues. We don't want to add too much compression to our knees. So just a light bend is more than enough. And if you want to go deeper into the pose, then allow your knee to come directly on top of your ankles. If you see that you need to move your legs a little bit forward, if you have longer legs, then you can do that, but allow your ankles and your knees to be in alignment. And as we said, your heels should be in the center line with your back leg. So the center of your back leg. So once you have your legs in position, for Warrior I, we want to rotate our hips forward. So we also want to rotate our back leg slightly inwards. So we come forward, rotating our hips, bringing it nice and square in alignment with our front leg. And our back leg is no longer totally outwards. It is brought so 30 to 40 degrees inwards. So once you have your legs good in position, what we want to do is just allow our feet to ground onto the mat. Here also in the front leg, we can have our Pada Bandha activated, really grasping the mat, the ground with our toes and our heels. And at the back leg, you can have a lot of focus on the side, on the inner side of your feet, but see that your toes and your heels are nicely contacting the ground. So when you are ready, bring up your arms with an inhale, with an exhale, bring your hands to your chest. And as we said, you can have a light bend, or you can make your thighs parallel to the ground, and then see that your hips are nice and centered. Relax your shoulders, pull your navel towards your spine, allowing your spine to be straight again. Neck is long, and here we're going to take 2 deep breaths in and out. Breathing in, and breathing out through your nose or your mouth. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. See how strong your feet are connecting to the ground. Your legs are also getting warm. And now slowly stretch out your right leg, release your hands, and we're going to take a nice step back with our left leg in front. And our warrior pose is also a hip activator, a hip opener. So I'm hoping that you can feel that. Come back into Tadasana, your version of Tadasana when you are ready. And step back with your right leg. So we're going to do that entire asana philosophy with this side, of course, as well. We want to bring our left leg closer to the right side so that we can align the heel with the center of the back leg. So 3-4 feet is usually more than enough, but if you have longer legs and need a bit more space, then bring your front leg backwards. So at first, we can really turn out our back leg out, but like we did before, we're going to bring it 30 to 40 degrees more inwards. And then rotate our hips. We've already learned that in our first side. Allow your body to come down here into a light bend, or we're going to make our thighs parallel to the ground. And then when you're ready, inhale, raise your arms, and exhale, we're going to bring our hands to our chest, allow our shoulders to be nice and relaxed here. Our navel, we're going to pull slightly inwards, neck is relaxed but long. And here we'll take 2 deep breaths, inhaling, exhaling, and again, in and ex. Wonderful. And when you're done, just release your hands, straighten out your legs slightly, and then take a big step back with your right leg. Come back into Tadasana. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in and out. Feel the effects of this pose in the different parts of your lower body, your hips, your legs. So in order to have strong root connections, in a physical level, we also need to have strong legs. And I am very sure that you could feel how the warrior is able to really strengthen your legs. So now we're going to do a breath in each side for our warrior 2. We're going to be opening up those arms, and we'll also change our hip position a little bit. So starting in Tadasana. One more time again on the left side. When you are ready, bring your left leg back. Now you know what foot alignment you're looking for, and that we're going to have our legs slightly turned outward. So not entirely towards the side, but we have it 30, 40 degrees out. This is always with our warrior, the same leg position. So this time we want to come back with this slight bend or with full alignment of knee and ankles. See that you have your leg in the right position, and when you are ready, just open up your arms at shoulder level, hands facing upwards. Keep your shoulder in position. Pull your navel towards your belly, and we're going to take a nice deep breath here, inhaling and allowing again Pada Bandha to activate the side of your back feet, the inner side, to also hold you strong onto the ground. Here we feel this opening of our chest, and of course, parallelly, we have this strong connection with our feet to the ground. And we'll take 1 deep breath here in and out. Wonderful. Slowly release the arms. Come back with your left leg in position, coming back in Tadasana, and bringing our right leg back. So find your feet alignment. Choose whether you want to come with a parallel thigh towards the ground or only a slight bend. Open up your arms, back and front, shoulders in position. Your navel close towards your spine. Your back leg slightly outwards, not fully, just slightly. And here we're going to take 1 deep breath. Palms facing upwards. And when you're ready, just release your hands. Come take a big step back with your right leg in Tadasana. So we have done our first 2 poses, and for the third one, we're going to come back onto the ground, and we'll start actually just with our feet together and slightly away from our pelvis area. But then allow yourself to just walk a little bit more forward with your sitting bones and see that you have great contact. You can even move your flesh slightly to the outside in order to have more contact with your sitting bones. So the next pose, the last one, is Sukhasana, our cross-legged sitting position. So for a lot of people, this pose may be difficult due to knee issues. So that's where it's getting very important that we're able to use our props properly. So one of the first options that I can show you is that you can just try to come onto a cushion and allow yourself to have a very light crossing of your legs. So without any deep compressions. So that is an option that you can choose. Another option would be to have your cushion on your back at the center and take your blocks and place them underneath your knees, either for just a small support, or you can even make them longer and allow your knees to just rest on the blocks. So this is really, really comfortable. You can decide to do this. If you don't and need to avoid compression in your knees, I would suggest that. So please choose the Sukhasana of your choice. I'm going to leave that cushion at my back and allow myself to also feel that support. This is even really wonderful for those of you who are already really comfortable in Sukhasana. So once you've found your position in the supports, you can just allow your legs to be crossed in a very, very light way. And if you're on the ground, then you can bring one leg with your feet towards your thighs, and you can just place the other one on top or just in front. So now we're going to bring the energy down. We see in which way we can sit down. So either you have a half lotus, or you allow your legs to just fold on top of each other in front of each other. So allow your energies to just calm down. Feel that connection that you have again with your sitting bones. Allow your spine to rise up as it did in Tadasana, your neck to lengthen. Feel that thread again pulling you from your crown center. And as you feel your neck rising, at the same time, feel how your shoulders are melting. And in Sukhasana, come back to this feeling of groundedness, rooting down with Mother Earth and all the elements that make up our life. So we are going to take about 2 to 3 deep breaths in this position. I hope that you have found your version of Sukhasana. And as we said, when you're feeling a little more challenged, you can always lift up your leg in a half lotus or just leave it in front. And your inner leg has your feet pressed onto your thighs, the opposite thigh. So just close your eyes. Allow your shoulders to relax and take 3 deep breaths for yourself in Sukhasana.